I've always used the difference. I've never really looked into the difference because I've always used the super fine because I want to get that nice coating and I want to make sure it hit as much of my ink as possible. So I wouldn't necessarily go for a coarse one because there may be areas in there that when it melts out, it may miss some areas. But that's all I can say about the medium and the coarse powder. So I always choose that fine powder, the finest that I can get. Okay. I'm checking to see if there are any other questions. Okay. All right. So I've already, what I had to do between these computers is I downloaded my image over here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to drop this in and I'm going to show you guys how this prints out. And I'm going to go off camera for just 1 second and I'm going to load in a piece of film and get you guys ready. But I will be on my phone. So if you have any questions in the meantime, if we could keep this nice and orderly, and you guys just please don't talk over each other. If you need to unmute and ask me a question, please feel free to do so. So the next thing that I'm going to mention to you guys is with the DTF film, there are several different films. Sorry. Some of them are, some film is shiny on one side and some of them are matted. And by matted, it just means that there's a really dull look to it. So the one that I'm using, it's dull on both sides. So I have to actually bend it to see what side is the print side. Most of the time, the bags that they come in will tell you that the print side is facing up, for example. So you would want to make sure that that is the direction that you're putting your film in. So when is it good to use black powder? Sometimes when I'm using black powder, it's because it's going on a black garment, the color garment that is going on, let's say it's going on a white garment, and you may want it to give it that extra pop. I personally have not seen or noticed the difference between the black powder and the white powder, and that's why I just stick to white powder. So hopefully that answers your question. So I've dropped my image in and I'm just going to hit print. It's already aligned and sized, right? Let me turn on some more light and I'm going to go over to this printer. Now, it is being said that this is not good practice to open your printer. It's not good to open your printer and sit here and watch your image, right? So as you can see, I didn't load my stuff correctly, so the printer did not grab the film, but it's pretty good at grabbing it properly. But because if you guys hold on 1 second, I'm gonna put my phone down so I could set this paper. Okay, sorry about that. So I'm just gonna get this started. I already have one pre-printed, just so that I'm not holding you guys up. Let me check the chat really quick. Oh, so you have black powder and never used it. I understand, you know, sometimes we're creatures of habit. We stick with what we know. And you can see the speed at which this 15,000, this XP 15,000 prints at, right? So you could already see it first prints the color ink. And this is how DTF works. It prints colored ink first, and then it lays down the white ink on top of it, right? I'm messing with my stuff. So I'm going to let this finish printing. I'm sure you guys don't want to watch this print head go back and forth. So I'm going to finish letting that print. And I'm going to also go ahead and grab my completed transfer. Okay. And I'll be showing that to you guys before I powder it. Yes, it does print fairly fast. So my lighting is not the best over here. So this is the image that's printed out already. And I printed this in advance because I don't like to print and powder right away, right? And the reason I do that is because I do not want the ink. I want the ink to be as dry as possible, okay? So that is the reason that I do it that way. So I'm gonna go over here and powder, and I'm gonna hook up my camera, and hopefully I could get you a good view. I won't reverse it, so I'll be able to make sure that I am in frame. I have a little makeshift station because it is not good if you're going to do DTF, you want to make sure it's in a well-ventilated area. Sorry, I'm showing you all my t-shirts. Sorry. Okay. So like I said, here's a picture of the transfer as printed out. This one is printed by 11 inches wide, and I did 11 inches wide because it's going to go on an extra large t-shirt. So I typically would not do this process in my workspace because you need a well-ventilated area. But for the sake of demonstrating and not taking you guys through my entire house, I went ahead and moved this heat press in here temporarily. Now, that's the other thing that we're going to talk about. So a clamshell does not work well for DTF, okay? Because you cannot let it hover, okay? So with this one, I actually, it's cranked up to the highest setting so that there's plenty of space in between, right? And I found my own spot. So on other people's heat press, it may be different, but for mine, it's all the way to the top, okay? And what I forgot to do while I was talking to you guys, I forgot to turn on my heat press. So it's gonna take me a minute to have this cured for you guys, but I will go over the powdering one. And what I can do in the meantime is get an image that's already done and press it once it gets up to temperature, okay? So one of the things I'm looking for before I powder my image is it's got a nice flat look to it. When I turn it at an angle, I don't see it looking all wet. You can tell when ink looks wet, right? So I just have a small container of powder and I just put a little bit on there and you just move it back and forth. And you do this to make sure it's coated evenly, okay? And then I just tap it. So because I let it sit, it wouldn't be, it's not clear enough for you guys to see it. But if there was a lot of humidity in this room, for example, that's one of the reasons I don't do DTF in here is because I do have a humidifier going. So if you have powder that's outside of these lines, right, what you would have to do is you would thump it. So pardon the noise, I'm gonna put it on mute just so I could thump it and demonstrate. Okay, and that is how you get rid of your excess film. So once my heat press was ready, as if it was ready, I would cure this. And for me, it's not about time for my heat press, but I know it takes me less than 2 minutes to cure this, and it should take less than a minute to actually cure it with my heat press. But since my heat press, I failed to turn it on, I'm going to go and grab another one to show you what it looks like when it is cured. So not sure if you guys could see this as well. See, it's nice and dull right now, right? I'm trying to look on the computer. Don't know if you guys could see it, but I could see all the granules on there. So bear with me for just 1 second. So I have a closet over here with DTF images that are already printed. All right. And then since I'm pulling out an older transfer, right? So this is one that I purchased last year and ran a sale, a DTF sale on. So once you heat this and cure it, so this one is defective, but I'm just going to show you. So it has like an orange peel texture to it once it is cured, okay? 1 second. So just like a regular orange, right? And pardon the light. So if you see the orange texture that looks like this, that is how, for visual purposes, the back of your DTF transfer will look. Now, if the transfer is burnt during that process, and people do burn DTF transfers, you will have little black specks in that DTF transfer. Another thing you can also do to check to see if your DTF transfer is burnt is you hold it up to the light. And when you hold it up to the light, if you see little pinholes throughout it, like no, this film is porous, so it does have small holes so that it's not one big block solid image. But if you see holes, like as if you stuck a pin through it, now that means that your image is burnt, okay? So that is what that looks like. And I'm going to switch cameras once again. Sorry, you guys. So yes, matter of fact, that print is finished. 1 second, I'm going to switch again. I hope I'm not making y'all too dizzy. You know, I'm trying to do this one person camera thing. I don't know what I was thinking. Okay, so it finished printing, right? And just like the other one, let me pull my chair out a little bit. I got stuff on it. So there it is, right? And with this printer, you could do, 13 by 19 sheet, but you cannot print all the way to a 13 by 19 width, okay? So you're gonna have to leave space for a margin when you are printing. So I would recommend that the amount of space that is left for the margin, at least 1/4 of an inch on each side, and then make sure that your image is centered when you print, okay? So I'm gonna check the chat and see if there are any questions over here. If anyone have any questions for me regarding DTF, and I'll go over the storing process for DTF. So DTF and humidity does not work well together, okay? And I'm probably gonna look in my cabinet. I keep extra prints just to have them around to see how well they're holding up. But I do have a cabinet. I use my hallway closet, and I have a dehumidifier in there. So right across the hall, I have a humidifier for my garment printer, and across the hall, I have the dehumidifier plugged in the hallway, and it's inside of the closet. So it does suck the moisture out. Okay, so you have to keep your DTF transfers in an airtight container, right? My optimal temperature, I try to keep my humidity around 41 degrees in that cabinet. I try not to let it get any higher than that, because if you ever receive a DTF transfer and you realize that there are little white spots on it, and I'm gonna, like I said, I'm gonna go look and see if I have any, but I'm gonna talk you through it in the meantime. So if you see little white spots in there, that means that has been subject to humidity and moisture, right? Yes, you could use that transfer, but I wouldn't want to use a transfer that has humidity, because could possibly start to break your stuff down, right? And you want to aim for quality every time you put a product out. So that's what will happen if it's not in an airtight container. So what I do when I'm prepping my stuff for my customers, I sometimes use these baggies that you use for t-shirts. So this is actually some of my DTF film for smaller prints, but I also have large bags. Sorry, everything is up under my table, guys. So I have different size baggies that I use, and I put them in there, and I make sure I squeeze out all the air. But just for my own practices, I also include a sheet of butcher paper in there. And the butcher paper is not necessarily in there for you to press with. It is more to help with if there's any moisture for it to grab it. And I also use those little silica gel packets. I put those in my packaging as well when I'm giving out DTF transfers. But like I said, I don't ship out DTF transfers unless it's someone that I know, they want some transfers or they never tried it. I may send them some DTF transfers, just for their experiment. Okay. So that's the other thing. Question for you guys. Have anyone tried the DTF hack with their sublimation printer? And if you have, just give me like a number 2 in the chat. Let me know that you've tried it, because I have questions. Okay, Coach Naja, can you unmute and tell me about your experience with the DTF hack?
I don't think I did it right. It is short and simple. I only tried it once. I don't think I didn't. So I saw this lady. She used like water slide paper. So I had water slide paper. So I just printed real quick just to try it. I don't think I pressed it right or anything. Me being, fast or trying to hurry up and do something, because it was grainy, kind of. But I did it on a white shirt, and I mean, the image would look good if I could just figure out, if I was to do it more often.
Okay. So as far as washability, tell me how well that stuff washed.
Oh, I don't know, because it looked bad after I did it. I just put the shirt to the side. So I haven't tried it or anything.
Okay. So I took that time while you were talking. I was trying to see if I had a DTF transfer that is had holes in it, but I did not. So this is one from last year, and it's actually holding up pretty good. I printed it for my neighbor. They just never came back and pressed their shirts. Don't judge me, y'all. Sorry about that. But yes, they didn't get their shirts together. So, but you know, they know where to find my transfers in me all the time. Okay. But this is what I was telling you guys as far as storage for my DTF transfers. So this is just my regular hallway closet. I just took the stuff out of it. I bought these cabinets from Michael's, right? And they're just double stacked. And I just put them in here. These ones aren't sealed in baggies or anything. So because they don't belong to anybody, and this is to test the printing process, like I was saying, because I want to come back in here later on and I want to see, right? I want to check and see if my prints are holding up as well as I think they are. So I put them in here and I test them out. And there's my dehumidifier down at the bottom, and it collects the water, and then I just take it out every couple of days and dump it. But I do try to check it once a day. Okay, so I'm also going to grab a couple of shirts. I know I have one for sure. I'm not sure if I have a second one for that I use for DTF. I want to show you guys what something that I printed over a year ago looks like. And of course, in true fashion, I was just showing that to someone a couple of days ago. So I always keep my excess prints or prints that don't make it. And that heat press is still heating up. It's one of those, it's my good old Heat Press Nation press. And it's at 250 right now. I need to get it up to about 325. That's my sweet spot for my curing. So that's what I am currently waiting on. Okay. And I don't know what I did with that shirt. I showed it to someone this week. Okay. So I keep all my defective products, right? And that is what you do with your defective products. If you mess something up, go ahead and hold on to one or two of them so you can wash it. Okay. You wash it and you do everything that you tell people not to do. If they're not supposed to throw it in the dryer, throw it in the dryer. I throw these things in the dryer every chance that I get. Some of these are DTG prints, right? That I was experimenting with something and I keep them. I keep them and I wash them, right? This one might look familiar, right? So that was also DTG, right? And these were just different ones, different gender reveals. So if they don't pass my quality assurance test, right, I scrutinize all of my stuff before it goes out. So these are things that I've made and I just keep on washing them. So I definitely, if I could leave you with one good tip, definitely do that. I'm sorry, I left my other camera on. I would definitely recommend doing that. And my heat press is almost ready, guys. It's up to 269. It's almost at a pressing temperature, which I could go straight to pressing. But if you guys want to hang on, oh, I'm sorry, I'm showing y'all all of my mess. Ooh, I'm sorry, y'all. But since y'all done seen the mess, yeah, this is some of my other little craft stuff that I do, right? Built out my closet. That's off subject, but I built out my closet so that I can use it the way that I needed to, because that one bar that they had going in there was not working for me. So I had to build it out. Okay. So what questions do you guys have for me? If you have questions, feel free to unmute. Just don't talk over each other. Go ahead and unmute and ask me whatever question you have, and I will do my best to answer it. Now, I'm not claiming to be an expert by any means. Okay. I do.
Hey, GayAnn.
Yes.
It's been Teresa.
Hey, Teresa.
You can press that on the Lord's shirt and send it to me. That's my question.
I can definitely do that. I appreciate this support. Y'all, I'm just walking all over the place. But like I said, I pressed this one for myself the other day. See, I'm stretching it, right? I'm wearing my shirt and I'm stretching it, right? See, it ain't cracking. All right. It ain't cracking. I'm stretching it. Now, my thing is, for some people, I don't know how much you're going to try to stretch a DTF or a DTG shirt, right? But if you have to stretch a shirt this much, you should probably get the next size up, right? So yes, you're going to see some little pores in there if you eventually stretching the heck out of it, right? You're going to see it, but it comes back together, right? So yes, I do, I do test out my products, okay? I'm very, very picky when it comes to giving stuff out because it's about me and my name and my brand, right? And I have to represent myself to the fullest. Jamie, why are you over here laughing at me, Jamie? Come on, tell me. Jamie, go ahead and unmute and tell me why you laughing at me.
Oh no, I wasn't laughing at you. I was laughing at Ventrisa because I had the same request.
Oh,
Like, I need me a shirt too.
you know, I don't mind at all. So let me go ahead and write this down. So we got Jamie and Van Teresa shirt request. Got it. So yeah, y'all are hilarious. And these are another, like I printed out this other DTF transfer for somebody today. Let me see. You know, like I said, I don't try to print no one transfer for people. So if I'm not printing nothing else, they're probably gonna wait the full 48 hours if I don't have another order in the queue. But I thought this was kind of cute. I kind of pieced it together because I didn't like the one that they had on Etsy. I had to fix them. His little ear was cut off a little bit. Okay. So y'all asked me some questions. I'm at 3:05. You know, I'm almost there to where I could go ahead and cure this image. So y'all go ahead. Let's kill these couple seconds or this 1 minute.
I do have a question. This is Jamie again.
Hey,
When
Jamie.
you do your powdering, you said you wait until the ink dries a little, or you do it immediately after it prints?
I do not do it immediately after the print because what I find is if it hits the heat, it'll cure too fast and the ink will actually be burnt. So that's when you have a bunch of little holes in your print when you hold it up to the light. And I wish I had when I was looking, y'all. And you will see a bunch of little holes gathered together. But when it's just regular burning, you will have little pinholes like here and there, right? So that is why I wait before I cure it. So I'll wait up to 10 minutes. Some people wait like an hour, but I'll just start printing off all my stuff and I line it up so that when I start curing the one that is sitting out there the longest. All right, so this is at 3:17. So what I'm going to do is get this camera set back up for you guys. And I'm going to go ahead and cure this. 1 second. And I just want y'all to know, I don't even share my space. Y'all got me on camera doing this class. I'm sharing with y'all. I done really stepped out my comfort zone, y'all. I don't even let people in my house like that. Y'all got to see me. Let me turn this camera around. I know I keep showing y'all my cabinets. Sorry, those are my little cabinets I built in my little spare time. All right, so that's done. So one of the things that I like to do is I just put my heat press down for a little bit to make sure that my plates are nice and warm. I'm gonna go grab this transfer that I did and come right back. But like I said, this does get off fumes. So I cure in my breakfast area right next to my door. But what I also have in there, right? What I also have over there is a air purifier. And that is a recommendation. If you're going to be, even sublimation gives off some gases, you know, if you're heating anything, it's going to give off some gas. But since I'm just doing this one for you guys, I'm going to be all right, right? So I do a little bit and I swing it away. I love my little swing away heat press. This heat press nation, it's good, y'all. It's good. And I did not buy it brand new. And I rotate mine because I know that the back of my heat press may be a little bit faster than some of it, right? So it is going to cure uneven. It would be great if things really did cure as evenly as they should. Y'all, I'm gonna go check out these chats. I see y'all over there laughing way too much. I'm gonna go look. Y'all give me 1 second. And I got so much stuff going on this phone, I can't help myself right now. 1 second. Okay, let me see what's going on in the chat. All right, we ain't got we don't have any questions. Let me start, make sure I'm using proper English and act right.
So, Shannon, I just want to tell you, you're doing a phenomenal job.
Oh,
And I love all of this. I think everyone here is thoroughly entertained and, well, let's call it edutained. We're educated and entertained right now. So I appreciate it so much. You're doing a beautiful job. I do want to take you to, since this is like, are you able to turn your camera sideways? Like landscape view?
I can.
Okay, cool. And then that way it'll give us a little bit more of your scene and what you're showing us. Perfect. Oh, that's perfect. Yep, that's it.
Okay.
So then we don't see your beautiful face. You have to kind of squat down and show us your beautiful face. But yeah, I think it's giving.
All of my.
There you go. Yes.
Like I said, press was not to the right temperature, y'all. So just bear with me. I just tried to see if I can sneak it in there, but I know it cures good at 325, 330. This thing is on point.
Now, how did you figure out for your specific setup? Did you just keep trying different temperatures, different times in the space? And then that's, you know, kind of came up with a formula for your press?
Yes. So when I tell you I've tried some things, I've tried the oven too, the DTF oven that they have that closed down.
Mm-hmm.
A Chinese printer. So that didn't work well for me. So when I got this one, I played with it and I started, I think, around 350.
Mm-hmm.
And then I started dialing it back and I realized that like 325 is like my sweet spot. But 325 also works well for when I'm pre-pressing my garments, especially when I'm pre-pressing what are those things called? I have to pre-treat my shirts.
Mm.
So because I have to pre-treat my shirt, that's also the temperature that I pre-treat at, which is 330. So it's perfect.
Okay. So you have DTG as well? Is that what you pre-treat?
So those shirts that I just showed were actually DTG. So yes, for DTG, you do have to pre-treat, but it is good quality. For me, DTG and DTF are neck and neck. All right, so this is looking pretty good. Still not cured yet. You know, my thing just gonna show out today just because I'm here, because I didn't cured enough images today and it was a lot faster. But do note it's a lot faster when you let it heat up the way it's supposed to. I'm trying to jump the gun just a little bit.
Gotcha. But you're basically able to keep a consistent temperature, so it may take a little while longer to cure it, because I know some people say, hey, you can cure it at 400 with only 30 seconds or something like that, but depending on how far away the heat source is. But I think with you keeping it a consistent temperature, you're not going to mistakenly press a DTF transfer at 400 degrees because you keep switching it between temperatures and that sort of thing. So I think
flashlight. I was trying to see if there are any pinholes in here to where I could probably turn the light off and see how well that works.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, so I'm gonna go ahead and stop what I got here with this curing.
You angle the camera down just a little bit so we can see the press, what you're doing?
Yes, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna grab a shirt, but what I will actually do is I'm gonna press one of my other transfers that are ready so that I'm not taking up you guys' time. I know y'all love hanging out with me and stuff, but y'all came here to see how to do the DTF and craft a little for transfers. So I do. What's that, Coach?
What's pre-treat?
So pre-treating is for the direct to garment. It's some pre-mixed chemicals that allows your ink to lay down proper on your shirt.
Okay.
Like the glue, for lack of a better term, not glue. It just helps it to lay down better because you're using like cotton garments. So that's the purpose of the pre-treat. It helps the ink to get to the shirt and stay there.
So is it recommended to do that for DTF, or is that what you were saying just for the DTG?
That's for DTG. With DTG, pre-treat, but with DTF, you don't have to pre-treat. You basically print transfers. And I got this humidifier in here too. That's my other problem. Y'all, I'm really trying to get this thing together. I told y'all I was trying to cram it all in one room so I can show y'all everything. I got my humidifier right next to this heat press, and that is not the right answer. But I'm gonna go ahead and press this shirt. I'm gonna press this old one, but Miss Van Teresa, I still owe you. So I'm gonna be using this Gildan extra large shirt. Let me see if I can back my camera up a little bit, give y'all a better angle. Let me go back here. Y'all tell me if this is working for y'all. Let me rotate a little. There we go. Okay. You guys able to see all right? Now I'm gonna move this to the hallway.
Yep.
Is that
Yeah, we can see everything.
okay? All right, so I always keep something down on my bottom of this. But the other thing I do, because I'm curing my DTF and I want it closer to the heat, I have double mats on here. Okay. So I always pre-press my shirts, right? And I also have my other heat press. It's another heat press nation. And that one, I like that one as well because it's got the auto open. Love the auto open, guys. It's great. And I cheat when I do my shirts. So I'm gonna show y'all what I do. I see quite a few people using the same process. So I don't really know if it's cheating, but I like to come up with systems because I'm gonna say I'm lazy. Lazy people come up with systems so that you can learn how to do it effectively all the time, right? If we didn't have lazy people, we wouldn't have all these inventions. That's all. That's my opinion on it. So I cheat. So I take my shirt. Y'all, I'm so serious. I take my shirt and I fold it in half. I do. Because if I'm waiting for my eyesight to tell me that this shirt is in half and my shirt rulers to act right, it's never gonna line up. So I just do that. And I do a quick little press. It ain't long, just a little press. Just a little press. All right. I like a nice straight line down it. I don't know if y'all can see it. Y'all see that little line I just put? Let me see if I can turn it see, there it go, just a little bit. All right. So that's what I do for my transfers. I'm gonna show y'all my other little hack. I'm gonna take a knee real quick. I told y'all I'm special. So I'm gonna find a way. I'm a system kind of person. I don't fold my entire transfer, okay? I fold it just enough to where I can snip a little V at the top. Y'all see that just flew off? Bam. See that little V? And I do the same thing at the bottom. I had to let it go just now. I snip another little one. Now you see that line I just did? I know y'all seen that line. That line that I just did, and I'm doing everything by the heat press, y'all don't judge me. And I go ahead, I put it right here. And I know my 4 fingers roughly, and I line up I put my V on the top portion of the line, and I put my bottom one on the bottom portion of the line. Okay? That way I don't have to sit there and spend all day trying to figure this out. Stop applying my Teflon. I'll pull my shirt back a little bit because I don't want the collar. No, I don't sit here and tape my transfers down. I don't. I'd be lying if I said I did. So as you can see, I barely have any pressure in here, but I'm gonna add a little bit. I'd have to take it all out because I was doing DTF. So I got to take it all out. So this is a 15-second press, probably 15 already, but it's fine. So 15 seconds, not 15 minutes, y'all, 15 seconds. So 15 seconds, and I'm gonna let this cool. So this is nice and warm. Don't do what I just did, y'all. Make sure you wear your gloves, okay? So I'm gonna take this off the heat press because I don't want it to keep on going. So I'm just gonna sit here and fan this shirt, and I'm gonna check my chat, see if y'all are saying anything over here to me. You got anything in the chat? Y'all can unmute and tell me. So I hope y'all are getting some good information out of here. Is this helpful?
And I would say yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yes. So, because we're impatient, sometimes I grab a block out the fridge and I'll smack it on my shirt. But I don't do that for people's shirts. I do it for my stuff that I'm doing. All right. So, couple things. So I also send out information when I do my transfers, right? So my customers, I'll text them and I'll send them the exact pressing instructions. And I'm pressing it. I press this between 285 and 325, depending on your heat press, okay? My heat press right now is on 325, so it's on the higher side. So I press it. Now, when I get ready to peel this off, if it doesn't peel, you repress it again. Tap it back down. All right, we're gonna see if this one peels. You know how stuff goes when we live on camera, right? It don't never act right. I know y'all over there laughing at me, but oh, y'all see this? Hold on, wait. Hey, I don't know if y'all know this guy named Big Groove. He's on Facebook somewhere, and he's like, "You see this? You see this? Y'all look at this. Ooh, look at that peel. Stop it." So that's how easy it is to peel a DTF transfer, y'all. See that? It was good. So now I'm gonna do a repress. And I'm gonna press this. I'm using craft paper because it's already pre-cut and it was out there. So I place that on there. You don't have to put butcher paper on top of this one, but it's just a habit. I'm putting my butcher paper on there. This time I'm gonna add a little bit more pressure because I like to see like a little bit of the t-shirt fibers when I press it. So I'm gonna add a little bit more pressure and I'm gonna press it for 5 seconds, y'all. So the other thing, let's say you get a transfer and when you peel it off, you see a bunch of little powder around the edges of your image. Y'all count me down for 5 seconds now. Y'all just leave me hanging. Okay. And that's it. My t-shirt is done. But like I was saying, if you see a little powder around it, if you repress that with a piece of fabric or something, that comes right off. Let me turn this around so y'all can see this. There's some good light. So see, probably wasn't the best choice to put this on a black shirt, but it was not the one that was supposed to go on there. Okay.
That
So
looks really good, Coach GayAnn. And I like the black on black. I call that a stealth look. Looks good.
Yeah, burning up with this heat press in here in this room. Y'all just don't know. So yes, so now I'm gonna let y'all listen to this. I had to make sure I had the right one. Now there's some DTFs, it will sound like this when you touch it. Did you hear that extra one? So yes. So it does have a sound to it. You are gonna feel like something is on your shirt, right? See, we're gonna do the stretch test, right? I'm gonna turn this way so y'all can really see it. If I don't fall over on this film, I'm gonna stretch it. Look like it's stretching pretty good, right?
Oh,
like
yeah.
a shirt this much, you should probably go to the next size up. Okay. So I like to test my stuff just to see. It's gonna move with it, and it's moving pretty good. Okay. So now we got a hocus
Really
pocus.
good. Yeah.
Okay. Let me kill this.
A
And I'm
question.
over here. I'm gonna answer your question. I'm gonna go sit down though.
What's the purpose of pressing again after you rip the film off, pressing it with the craft paper and the Teflon paper?
All right, so that's to seal the print. That's the terminology that we use. That is to just do that last seal. Also, when you use the parchment paper on top of it, now when you use parchment paper, it may add a little shine to it. So that is another thing that can be done. I'm sorry, y'all cut my camera off. I'm gonna go grab something and show y'all in just a second. So craft paper, you'll get different feels with different ones that you use. So I would recommend trying DTF out. And when you do your second press, I would recommend trying some craft paper, as well as the parchment paper, as well as fabric for that second press. But the other thing you can do during that second press is you can apply DTF foil. And I'm grabbing my DTF foil right now to show y'all. I'm not gonna demonstrate it today because I'm not going for any gold or silver look. So let me get my camera back for y'all. Oops. Y'all, I'm dropping stuff. All right, let me take this off. All right, so this, I can also use this lovely film for DTG. So just the same way you use it for DTF foil, I pressed it, I peeled it. Now, if I wanted to get like a shimmery effect, I would cut off a piece of this and put it over my image. And I would lay it down. and press it for whatever time and temperature specific to this particular film. And then you peel it and it would adhere to your image for that little shiny effect. Now this comes in different colors. I know I just dropped this one. So you got your gold colors, you got your silver color, and you've probably seen people demo it. But this is it. So this particular one, I got it through my direct to garment, and they call it DTF foil on their website. Now they may call it something else on other website, but that's what it is. And it's very thin. So basically, this side would adhere to your garment, and then you peel it off, and it'll still have lots of this product left on there. It's very thin. It will have quite a bit of the product left, and it will not adhere to your actual t-shirt. So the areas that do not have ink, it will not stick to it. So, but it will adhere to those areas that you have ink in. Okay.
So, Ann, the question about that, I see you have colors.
Turn this other camera off. Hold on. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Okay. I see you have different colors. Does it take on the color of the film?
It does take on the color of the film. So yes.
So does the print have to be in white if you want to take it on of the color of the film?
So you could do white, you could do other colors. And it actually, if you don't want it to be covered completely with the product, then you're, of course, leaving it on there for less time and pressing for less time and adjusting. So you could just get like a light shimmer, or you could get like a full shimmer. Does that answer your?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Yes, I've done shimmer over different color prints before. Unfortunately, I don't have it on my computer, so I can show it to you guys. It's on my phone. I did a birthday shirt for my sister when I went to Jamaica and brought that down there with me. So yes.
I have another question. Have you tried the glitter film?
I have not.
I tried and I can't get it. So I can't. It didn't come out right. So I have a roll of glitter film that I am still trying to figure out how to use it.
Try it again and think of some of the tips that I've mentioned in here with the glitter film. You may have to press it, adjust your pressing time. Just look back and see what their pressing instructions are for that glitter film. It's not a lot of glitter. I've seen it. I just haven't been interested enough to buy it because I figured I'd just put some foil over it, or if I'm gonna do glitter, then I could just use vinyl as well. But I would recommend double checking those settings, and maybe it's a pressure thing when you're doing it. I'm not sure how it's made. I know it's adhered to the film already, and you print right on top of it. So is it a matter of the glitters hanging on to the film after you pull it off? What exactly is happening?
No, it's the glitter on the shirt. It's just you can't even see the image underneath it. So I'm like, I did something wrong. Yes. Yeah. I'm gonna have to play with it, figure out something.
You might have to adjust some things and just play with it a little bit longer. But whatever you do, make sure you write it down. So if you're gonna adjust your temperature, jot that note down. If you're gonna adjust your pressure, make sure you also put that in there as well.
Okay, I'm gonna try that because I didn't think about doing that.
Yes, those are big things that will definitely affect DTFs, or your time and temperature, as well as your the pressure that you're putting. I've had one person come back, and I always encourage people to come back and let me know if you have any issues at all. I can't fix the issue that I don't know I have. So I always tell people, whenever you get any product from me, not just transfers, let me know if there's a problem with my product, because I prefer you do that than to trash talk or to ghost to someone else because my product was defective. So I always encourage them to do that. But I had one person that did not press a DTF transfer correctly. And I had to ask them, I said, well, did you follow my pressing instructions? And she said, well, this is not my first time pressing DTF. I said, I understand that. I'm not trying to insult you in your DTF experience. However, I gave you instructions for how to press this transfer. And let's just say that fixed the problem. Okay, so that's another good thing is, making sure that I send out instructions on exactly how to print these transfers. And it also tells you how to care for these transfers as well. So quick question for everybody else that's on here. Have you guys had DTF experience, and what was your experience with it? Anybody?
Well, I do have a DTF machine and I love it. It's just the glitter that I'm trying to get down because a lot of people asking me about glitter, and I will not do vinyl anymore. So I'm trying to look for another alternative. So, but I love it. I really do. I just
What printer do
am
you use?
hesitant. I have, would you over there saying China, pro colored.
Brand.
I have pro colored, the pro colored one.
Yeah, as long as you have work, I'm all for it, but I'm a name drop. That Air Smart was not my friend.
Oh, okay.
It was
It's
not my friend.
the RIP software. The RIP software is good, but I want to try, the Cat Link and the other one that you was talking about. So,
but if you do want to try CADLink, just know that CADLink does offer a 15-day trial, roughly, for you to try out their program. So it's worth trying it out, before you buy it. And I definitely appreciate that about them. And in my experience, they actually contacted me and said, hey, how's your experience going? And mine didn't go very well because there was problems. I didn't get a chance to use the software and my trial was running out. So they were kind enough to also extend my trial time for like another 15 days. So I got to try it out. Well, it would have been for 30 days, but it's legitimately 15 days because I didn't get a chance to use it. Okay, so you purchased transfers from a larger order. Okay, so how was your experience? Were your prints the quality? Any issues with them, pressing them, peeling them? Did it peel like it says? And that's another thing we'll talk about is this cold peel, hot peel thing.
I didn't have any problems with it. That was my first time using it and I liked it. It was so fast. But I used, they said to use parchment paper, I guess to give it the matte look. So I was going to ask you, like with the craft paper, and you said with fabric, you get different effects with that. Do you get more of a matte look or more of a shiny look with the craft paper versus parchment? And then what kind of fabric?
So I use muslin because I just happen to have some of it. I was using it when I was making face masks. So I use muslin over mine. Like the black powder, for example, I was really able to see where it was pulling the excess powder off the shirt for me. So a tightly woven fabric is what I would recommend. Not something like that have really wide patterns in it. So yes, just try them out and see what works for you and what doesn't. I know some people use butcher paper, but the most recommended product to press it with is parchment paper. So try it all out and also wash it and see if there is any effect. See if there's any effect on that. And I would love to hear you guys' feedback, on some of these things that we're talking about. And we're going to talk about hot peel and cold peel. So some film that you purchase will say hot peel or hot and cold peel. To be on the safe side, I pull all of my stuff when it's cold. I always do a cold peel because I've not found a hot peel personally that did what hot peel is supposed to do, which is just pull right off. So that's another little tip. And to answer some more questions on this transfer thing, right? So you definitely want to develop a pricing sheet for your prints, right? I guess I'm on the heat person. I put that product back on there, that image. So when it comes to it, there are different ways that you can price your DTFs, right? Oh, that's cured nicely. Oh yeah. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm gonna show this to y'all. I just decided to throw it on there before I sat down. So we got a nice cure. Let me flip this camera. And yes, I'm still talking about that. Let me flip this camera around. Let me see if y'all can see that. Oh, there you go. If you look towards the top, I don't know if y'all can see it a little bit. You can see that angle, and that's what I look for when it's cured. So you will see that little shiny, let me get it back. You will see that look over your entire print, basically, to know that it is curing. So this one is done. So I could also press this one so that Miss Van Treese could see her shirt getting pressed. But yes, back.
Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. What size shirt was that again?
Large.
Extra large black. Got it. Okay.
No extra large. Large.
Lord, got it. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Got it. So back to pricing. So we are talking about crafting for cash and doing DTF for cash. I know she yelling at me right now. She went the military voice on me. But all right. So with DTF, crafting for cash, like I said, you want to make sure that you put your pricing to where it makes sense for you, right? You want to make sure that you are paying yourself adequately for your ink cost, as well as your time and labor. You know, we always talk about that in the academy when we do any classes and we're talking about pricing, right? Price what you're worth. Yes, somebody else might be out there selling $4 transfers and $2 transfers, but like we say, those are not your customers and they're not my customers. And I also charge extra. If someone wants their print today, then you're going to pay today's price. If not, then you work with me on the regular 48-hour turnaround and you pay your regular price. But I started out doing these with gang sheets. And when I say gang sheet, it was just, I had rolls, but I only did the 13 by 19. So I would fit, if it fit, it print. And it was a flat $7 price, right? But when you look at it from a business perspective, if you could fit let's say two 6-inch prints, right, for a kid shirt or whatever, somebody's getting twice the profit because they're making 2 shirts and they only paid that one $7, right? How is that benefiting you at the same time? But also, if somebody wasn't getting an image that fit a 13 by 19 sheet, then it wasn't beneficial to them either because they were spending $7. Whereas if you want, like, say, a 18 months print, which is around, let's say 4 inches, then you could cut that down to like $3. So they'll save money. So it worked twofold for me. And that's one of the reasons I had to go back and adjust my pricing. And so that is the way I now charge, which is by the size. And I do charge I have small logo prices all the way up to my max printing size, which is roughly 12.5 or 12.6 by, I don't print any more than 19 inches. Because one of the things with these printers and film is it's not like printing on regular paper. So when the printer grabs it, it may print down to 2 inches. There are hacks out there that you have to do sometimes. But I print on 13 by 19 and I make my margins a little bit shorter. But I do have, I'm going to show you guys a quick example of what I send out to my customers. Right. I'm going to do a quick screen share. And I hope you guys can see it. So when anybody asks me about DTF, I send them out this nice little document because I like my time. And I did this based on those FAQs, y'all. Those FAQs, they come in handy. So let me zoom in a little bit so y'all can see this a little bit better. So I put everything that I figured people ask. They want things by a certain price or whatever. So I put that on there. If they were only doing an order for a sheet of logos, then yeah, there's a minimum quantity on that. But if you have multiple things in your order, then that's fine. The minimum quantity goes away. But to start up your printer to print somebody one logo at 3.5 by 3.5 or 2 by 2, that's, it's not cost effective. You're running your electricity by turning on your heat press and your printer, right? And your time and your materials, right? Does it make sense? It doesn't. So some of the things that I looked at the quality. I made sure that they understood what the quality of their images needed to be and that it needed to be cropped to size, right? Because you don't want people saying that, hey, you cut off this portion of my image when you're the one cropping it. But I do go ahead and crop one because that's not a major thing. But when it comes to edits, I do charge also for edits. So I let them know that if you don't remove your background, I can remove it for you, but it will incur an additional fee. And that's going to be based on like complexity, right? I put my turnaround time on there. I put my method of payment on there, and I let them know how we're going to meet for you to get these things, because I don't deliver, okay? I don't deliver prints. We could meet at Starbucks around the corner, take me a few minutes. I get to Starbucks, you pick up your print and you be on your way. But if you want delivery, then, nobody delivers for free, not even Domino's. There's a surcharge included in that. And also it lets them know that, hey, there's a deposit required for your printing, right? So they should be providing you with quantity, dimensions, and what's the quantity per dimension that they're needing. So I'll go ahead and stop that screen share, but that's just something that I came up with based on those frequently asked questions. And just like in your business, once people start asking so many questions, right, you get tired of answering the same questions all the time, right? Because then you got to stop and you got to type it or text it or whatever, depending on the methods, get them out of your inbox, right, Dr. Shannon? So people are going to want to ask questions. So you try to give them as much information. My boss in the military once told me, feed the beast, right? So if you give me enough information, I don't have to come back and ask you anything. Yes, you got to check out your DTF prints, because some people don't know about those things that are wrong with it, right? So when you flip it over and you have those little black spots almost look like there's lint, we know the difference between lint and just some little small markings all over the print, right? So that would definitely tell you that it's burnt. And when you see those little cluster pinholes, they're smaller than pinholes at that point, but little clusters of holes, yeah, you have a defective print. It's burnt. And when you see those little white spots, and you will know it when you see it, basically the ink is separating from the film, right? So that's what you will see. You will start to see more of that matte look, whereas the rest of it is just like when you press things to plastic. You can know how to find that. Yes, don't definitely. I want you to feel comfortable offering prints. It's a great way to subsidize your income as well, and especially with the printer that I'm using, that printer paid for itself. Like I said, my days of sitting here trying to troubleshoot a printer and order a print head from over here and hoping that the print head works and fix my problem, or whether it's a capping station, you name it, a fuse, a F1 fuse in those Chinese printer, because the voltage it fluctuates when you plug it into R120. So those are some of the systemic issues with those printers. They'll tell you that it's going to work, but you may need a voltage regulator, for example, if you're going to use one of those Chinese printers. At least that would be my recommendation. Like I said, the printer that I'm using now, I'm using the XP 15,000. I've used the Epson 1400 converted. I've used the Epson 1430 converted. I've used the L1800s. I've used the R series. Yes, I think the last one I got was a Epson 3880, but I sold it. I didn't even bother with it. I just went ahead and sold it. But how I shake my ink, the beauty about this one is its cartridges, and I'm using the same cartridges that came with the printer. I used a syringe and I took the ink out, right? You don't have to poke any holes or anything, but there are videos on that. So there are very helpful communities that will walk you through the entire step dedicated to XP 15,000s and how to convert it, and also provide you the support. But I just pop out my little cartridge and I shake it. Those two white ink cartridges, I shake them, I top them off. I have, let me show you. Don't do what I do, y'all. I'm gonna show y'all the bad way. I didn't turn my other camera, y'all. Please forgive me. Okay, so let me get this camera together. right? And I'm gonna show you how easy it is to, y'all, man, these cameras. Let me flip this thing around. It keeps changing on me, right? So these ones, I could actually go through the ink settings, right? So I'll do that. I don't want to show y'all my bad habit, right? It's very simple. So I just go over to my settings, and I'm gonna tell the computer that I'm going to replace my ink cartridges, right? I don't know if you could see that at the right angle there. So I'm gonna replace my ink cartridges. So I'm gonna hit next. It's gonna slide over. But y'all know I found a hack because I'm just that kind of person. So it's gonna slide the print head over. Don't that print look good? Look at that. It's nice and smooth. That got good amount of white. So see, it's over here. Normally what I do is because I pop it out from the side. That's why I had that in my hand, telling on myself. So that's all it is. Okay, this is my cartridge. I shake it. And I'll pop it back in. I don't take no whole minute. My Epson print, my Ricoh will tell me I gotta shake it for a whole minute. And it has a counter, and it will tell me that, hey, I have to shake it for that entire minute, or pretend that I do, for that timer to stop. You know, it continues counting, and then you could put your ink back in. So yeah, just to recap, this is a printed one, right? That's a print. That's what, oh, let me go back. That's what it looks like on the other side. So nice colors, right? Sometimes you may have to tweak your colors in these systems, right? Let me just show y'all my top since I don't want to turn my camera off, right? And then you have the one that's cured, right? See that little bit of shiny? You can see, there it is. You can see a little bit of shiny right there on an angle, right? So you can tell that it's cured. When you know it's not cured is when it's dull. And also it will be rough to the touch because, or it'll come off altogether if it's not started curing, right? So when you touch the back of it, it'll feel a little rough if it's not cured. Otherwise, it'll feel fairly smooth. You could feel some texture, but it'll be smooth. The other one will be a little gritty. How often do I have to fill it? It depends on how many prints that I'm doing. There are systems available for these printers. I don't run it because I have 2 printers and I'm not printing hundreds. It's probably only like a couple times that I would print like a mass quantity like that. So depending on the size of your image, you could print several images before you have to actually ink it up. But like I said, it depends on what you're printing and how solid it is. Now, if you're printing an image that has got straight white across the back of it, then, you know, there's that. I know y'all got 2 cameras on. Why y'all didn't tell me? No, I didn't. So there is that also. So filling is going to be based on what you're printing and how much white is kicking out. But these printers don't push out a lot of white ink when it's actually coated. But the white ink is what you're going to be using the most of when it comes to that. Oh, I didn't show y'all something. Let me go back. So matter of fact, I'm going to show y'all how simple it is for me to refill mine. And I'm just going to, see, I didn't even put it back in a spot. So just bear with me. Sorry about my lighting, y'all. So the printer is doing this little thing. So I have my ink in these little bottles. I use these precision tip bottles. Shake. And because these are the factory ones, all I'm doing is pouring my ink directly on this part. And then once it starts to get saturated, you'll know when to stop. Some people sit there, they weigh their cartridges, right? See? So now I know that it's time for me to stop because I could see a little bit of ink coming up. So that's it. It's nice, it's clean. I don't have ink all over my hands like once upon a time with syringes and all that other stuff. So this is for a small quantity for you to support your own business and not have to depend on someone. Sometimes you're in a pinch and you want to be, it helps you to be able to be more efficient. And, you don't have to wait. If you can't print and you done messed up a print, then you're stuck, right? Like, what are you going to do? Then you got to resort to the hacks, or you got to resort to cutting vinyl, or you may even have to just wait it out or refund somebody some money when you could just go ahead and print that extra transfer yourself. So let me see. I have taken up a full hour and some change of y'all's time. Does anybody have any additional questions for me? I hope that this was informative, but like I said, my printers pay for themselves. So like this XP 15,000, unfortunately, some people will send it back to Epson and all that. But you know, once you go ahead and put non-Epson ink in there, that voids your warranty, right? But some people will still send their printers back. They'll flush it out and do all that stuff. I'm sorry, I'm hands off when it comes to printers now. That's why I use these XP 15,000s. They're expendable. I get my money back. So when it decided to call it quits on me, by then I would have already got my money back plus profit to pay for whatever else I'm going to need also. So does anyone else have any questions for me regarding DTF?
I do. I guess you say got a lot of questions. I saw the website that you get your inks from. I saw the other colors. Have you used those different colors? And how would you use that in the print to change the to use those different colors?
So the different colors, as far as like the ones that have the reds and the gray colors.
I think it was like fluorescent looking colors or something.
Oh, now those ones, some people do have printers that they just run fluorescent inks in. They do use separate printers at times for that. So that's one way.
Okay.
So like mine, I could probably run fluorescent ink in there because it's fairly easy to go in there and flush that channel and drop one in. But I have not tried the fluorescent inks. I thought it was my big bottles, but I also have like print head cleaner. So I go in there and wipe down my they call it the windshield wiper. You know, maintenance is pretty easy for me. It takes a couple minutes. And I've gone and left my printer and went to Jamaica and stick some maintenance cartridges in there, come back and was able to just cycle it through that maintenance, just clean it with the solution in the cartridge. I have a separate set of refillable cartridges that I pop in, and I'll flush it out with that and do like a print head clean or two and let it cycle through and then pop my stuff back in. So this printer even made it through me going on vacation. So that is why I say I use it. Like I said, I'm not endorsing, but if you want an inexpensive way to get into DTF, there are a lot of packages out there and groups that are selling packages of printers and inks, right? And when you have a problem, they may not want to honor their warranty or whatever they said that they would do in the event that their products fail. So please be mindful of that. Please be mindful and do your proper research. If you're going to be buying printers from overseas, make sure you do your proper research. Check some of these forums before you go in there and see if anybody have used those printers before. What's their experience with it? Check that out, because if you're going to buy stuff on Alibaba, they're going to try to give you $250 back of your money, and you just lost all your money just like that. You know, you got to go through a whole system. You know, PayPal apparently works with you a little bit more when it comes to getting your money back. But as far as going through those particular platforms, you may find that a little bit challenging also. And another thing that they're very good at doing is saying that it's operator error and that you don't have the experience, even though you've been doing it for this many years. They'll say, oh, you didn't have the experience and this is why you broke it. So be very mindful of that. And the same thing with these package printers. Go out there and do your research. The time you spent doing that package deal for somebody that's going to convert a printer and send it to you, look at it. What are you really saving in the end? Because they don't have warranties when you go with stuff like that. So think about that. But if you guys don't have any other questions for me, it's been great hanging out with you guys. But if you want to stick around and I'll go ahead and press Miss Van Treese's shirt, you are more than welcome to. And Miss Jamie, please message me and I will work on getting your shirt out to you as well. I appreciate the support. And the frustration, oh yes, when I tell you I've been frustrated with DTF, it is not for the faint of heart. That's what I will tell people when they're talking about, oh, I want to get into DTF. If you don't have patience, don't do it. because you're gonna have times that you want to take a hammer to that printer or just throw it out the window altogether. Okay, it does happen. Grab one of these shirts. You stop trying to give Van Treese a large shirt. I'll see you. So I take my t-shirts and I had to pack them in here, right? Like there's a couple, but they're all the same sizes. So that's what I use for my packaging system, y'all. So I'm gonna stop crunching all these noises in y'all ears. So, but I don't see anybody have any more questions. Everything looks good in the chat. Like I said, I hope this was informative. And if nothing else, outsource your prints and get some DTF transfers. And you don't have to own the equipment to be successful. Just remember that, right? All right, you guys. Well, thank you for coming to Craft to Quit. And I hope that y'all will tune in for the next segment. I'm not sure who will be coaching that. It may be a guest coach or it may be back to Coach Chrissy, but we look forward to spending time with you. And I have a couple of reminders, you know, my plugs. Let me go ahead and get my plugs in. Shopify is coming up, you guys. I'm gonna let Dr. Shanon talk about that. I'm not sure if she's still on, but Shopify.
But yes, you should absolutely, yes, be pitching that. And if you all appreciate, here's the thing. We don't ask out for nothing extra, but if you're going to join the challenge right now, I really want you to use the link. Najla just put it up there. That link will give Coach GayAnn the credit. So she will actually get the affiliate link for that. So please, please, please use that. Anytime you find your coach's work valuable, you don't have to pay anything extra, but if you just use their affiliate links, then it truly pays off and it helps and it makes them want to show up more and give more value, stay longer. Y'all, this is a symbiotic relationship. So make sure that you're taking care of your coaches the way your coaches are taking care of you. And we love the content you gave us tonight. Thank you so much. I'm sure that Coach Chrissy is proud of everything that you brought to the Crafting for Cash series tonight. So we definitely appreciate that. And DTF is something I'm sure everyone wants to learn more about. I'm even interested in learning more about it. So I think we should be tapping into more of this for sure.
Absolutely.
Now, there's a coupon code too, Coach Ann, while they're here. While y'all are here on this live, let me see.
Oh, y'all about to get a treat.
I'm gonna see anybody that's here on the live tonight. Let me see if I can find it real quick live.
I might have to accidentally knock her out of Zoom.
you know how y'all like to do me when I start giving coupon codes. So hold on. So it'll only be good for the rest of this live. So then that way, while you're pressing the shirt, if they want to go ahead and join the Shopify challenge. If they want to go ahead and join the Shopify challenge, then they can do so with the coupon code as well. That way they get an extra bonus. So the bonus tonight was the information that you gave, but the extra bonus will be that if they want to join the challenge, we'll have that option. Let me go to it right here. All right, there it is. So this takes $100 off of the Shopify challenge. I don't know if y'all waiting on that $200 Shopify challenge coupon code. It is not coming. I'm just letting y'all know right now. I got in trouble for that, and I won't be doing it again. Okay. But that's the code, y'all. If you use the link and then that code, then that'll give Coach Ann the credit for tonight with you joining, okay? And then Coach Ann, I'm gonna go ahead and put this on YouTube as well for everyone. And then if you are you gonna go ahead and press that shirt up?
Yes, I'm gonna go ahead and pull down. I don't know if I got a couple of options. She wanted to. I'm gonna give her one of them for a soft style.
Love it. Oh, okay, fancy with it then. Okay, upgrade. All right. Well, and maybe you could show us the difference if you want to show us the difference between the Gildan standard that you did. I don't know if it was the 5,000 or 2,000, and maybe show them the difference between that and the soft style. That'll be good.
Yes, I can definitely show that as well. And before I forget, if y'all know somebody that's struggling with Photoshop, or if you are struggling with Photoshop, make sure y'all come to my class tomorrow morning, you guys. 10 o'clock CST, so 11 o'clock. 11 o'clock tomorrow morning, you learn how to build a template from scratch. We'll set up your workspace and make sure that you are good to go for when you go into these live classes. And you definitely learn a lot. You will walk out of that class knowing how to do a template from scratch.
And it's free, right? It's free. It's a free live class. So y'all come to the live class and y'all get schooled for the free 99. Like, and you get real-time help. She's gonna look at your screen, tell you if you're doing it. Like, come on, y'all. Come on, y'all. This is a free class. Coach Ann is putting in work for the free 99, just because her whole goal is she wanted to make sure that people coming into the Photoshop world, even our OGs have gone to the newbie class and they stay saying that they learn something every single time they go to the newbie class. So this is, it's not a drill, it's not a test, it's the real thing. And Coach Ann is going to get you in there for free. Just show up to the 11 a.m. class. She's going to get your workspace set up, do your orientation. And then as soon as you're done with that orientation, you're going to get to design a file from scratch. We give you the images to go with it, and you get free AI art. So we go ahead and we get you going. So I think this week, last week we did Father's Day. This week, I think we might be doing Pride. I'm not sure, but every single week, she's going to give you a different theme that you can use to immediately start selling products, y'all. So Coach Ann is amazing. We appreciate you, love. All right, and I'm going to mute my mic so you could take it from here, Coach.
Oh, you could go ahead, Coach. I'm just gonna press this along, but I'll just go over my quick notes and my little talk through. So once again, I'm gonna press my moisture out of this shirt. And I'm gonna do that for about 15 seconds. And I'm gonna adjust my pressure back from when I was curing that DTF transfer. That should be good. All right, so I'm just pressing it for a little bit. Are you guys able to see me pretty good at the right angle? Okay, there you go. So I'm gonna slide this off. All right. So once again, I'm doing my little hack, y'all. And it can't be that big of a secret because I actually saw somebody else do this the other day. And I was like, wow, it's not just me. So one thing about some of these shirts is, you know, you have to work a little bit hard, get some of these little corners out. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna fold this in half. And I'm grabbing the armpit, all right? I go for the little lines in the armpit to make sure that it's lined up. And then of course I grab my bottom. Another thing I check also is to make sure that my sleeves. So those three little things. Right? And we're just gonna put a little line. So I do this for anything that I have to line up. Sublimation prints, because I like to work a little bit faster, and I find that by pressing these little 5-second presses, it helps out a lot. Right? As you can see, it doesn't take any time at all to do that. And I put my t-shirt, when I line up my t-shirt, I drop the collar portion. I make sure that this portion right here is hanging off the heat press, because it will press through and give you that nice little shiny burnt look on the back of your shirt. And I don't like that. It does wash out, but I personally do not like to see it. Okay. So I'm going to get ready to trim my image once again, right? I centered this one while it was printing. So I'm just going to go ahead and cut my little V. I'm going to cut a nice deep V on that one, right? You guys can always try it. If you have a better method, by all means, share. I have the rulers that you place along the neckline. I have that one. I have the T ruler. So I use those for other things that I may need. But for this portion, I do not. Okay. So I'll move that up a little bit more. I said, I'm looking for my little line that I put in for my shirt. I'll move that back a little bit. Make sure I got my line. Okay. And I could pretty much eye it and tell. I got some big hands, y'all, but I still know where that is. Okay. I'm just double checking what they say, measure twice, cut once. So same concept, measure twice or remake your shirt. I place my Teflon across that. I'm gonna go ahead, and this is light pressure, right? And I'm gonna just do 15 seconds since my heat press is actually set for 1 minute. So I am just counting down. It's counting down for me. So that's 15 seconds. I'm gonna pop this open. All right, I'm gonna pull that off. Y'all are some real troopers hanging out with me tonight. You know, y'all could be doing a lot more things, but y'all decided to spend y'all Friday night with me. So I'm just gonna sit here and move this around. Let me see if there's any comments. Y'all are awesome. So yes, still pretty warm. So I'm just gonna fan it a little bit. They also have cooling blocks that you could rub over this. I'm not sure if it's granite or what the product is, but there are cooling blocks out there that you could use for DTF, and there are also materials that you could lay this on. Like if you have like a nice granite countertop, those will cool it down. Put that on there. That could possibly help cool it down as well. Okay. Yep. So ceramic, and it does quick cooling. Some people also use the quick blast cooling guns. I've seen one of those recently, but I'm not that invested just yet. So I'm gonna get ready for peeling this. And like I said, I would normally not let this heat. So look at that. We're rolling. We're peeling. Oh, y'all. Did y'all see that? Of course y'all did. And then in true fashion, oh, that look, y'all, these colors. Look at this. I'm not even done yet, but look at it. It looks good. Van Teresa, what you think about your shirt?
I think it's beautiful. Thank you.
Yes, and I will package this up and fold it in a nice little fold and put your little package, your little silicone package. Yes, I'm a little extra. I do not see. Nice and easy, a little bit of pressure, and 5 seconds. So if you go a little bit longer than 5 seconds, it's okay. It's not gonna hurt it, but you don't want to go too much longer than that. Okay. And it's done. So this shirt is officially finished. So let's say we're gonna do a quick comparison to this one, but I'm not sure how well it would work due to the colors, but I will show you anyway, right? I haven't found a mannequin yet, y'all. I've been looking for one. I'm very picky. So still looks very good on both shirts. I did stretch this one before. So what I'm gonna do, Van Teresa, I'm gonna stretch your shirt. So y'all ready? I'm gonna turn this. I just like to turn this way when I stretch it. Now see that? It's not tearing, nothing. It's on there. And it is finito. Okay. So yes.
Coach Ann, this was so good. This was such a good session. Your work is phenomenal. Your explanations are on point. I'm just so glad that you were able to give us this this show tonight. How you feeling, Miss X introvert? I can't call you introvert no more.
Introvert. You just don't know. I tried to talk myself out of this today. I want to do this. What they say? I stuck my foot in my mouth, so I had to do it.
You did absolutely amazing. You're doing absolutely amazing. Every Saturday morning, you're showing up. You're coming up with new great ideas to show everyone you are really and truly born to do this. I hope you know that. I hope you know we appreciate it and we see it in you.
Well, thank you all. And I really appreciate those. You know, y'all know how to reach me. Go ahead and drop me out the inbox.
I think we're gonna need some more DTF content and connections, and I'm sure this is not going to be the last that you talk about this subject. Now you got us all staying up late thinking we're gonna be dreaming about this tonight, and you're gonna have some more questions. I guarantee it.
I really appreciate the opportunity to be able to provide this support. So thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And Coach Ann, if there's anything that you need, let us know. Anything that you want to present to us. Look how neat you folded that just that quick. That's how I know you are absolutely amazing. I know we have our perfectionist ways, but the fact that you have those perfectionist ways means that you just gave us a rundown that would have taken us hundreds of hours of YouTube videos and hundreds of, maybe even thousands of dollars in wasted resources just learning this. You've literally given to us in this very short time. So we appreciate you and we support you. Y'all make sure that y'all show up for class tomorrow. It's a free Photoshop class. Show up tomorrow. You can go to, as a matter of fact, do we have, Coach Ann, do we have your free link? And the class of the free class, the link to the free class. Let's see.
I'm sleeping. Sorry about that noise. And just another note, just so y'all know, I did not learn DTF on my own. I did learn it from someone over in another platform. I did order those printer bundles and it wasn't necessarily my best decision, but I did learn how to do DTF and I give that person credit for teaching me DTF. So I did not start and learn all of this on my own. I developed some of it, but I did learn from someone.
Very well. And that's the thing too, like if your coach doesn't have a coach, fire your coach. I'm just letting you know right now, because the thing about it is we cannot literally sit here and teach other people stuff and we're unwilling to be coached. If your coach is not coachable, get you another coach. Okay. Awesome, awesome. So we got the newbie class there, and yeah, that's it.
Yeah. Yeah,
All
see
right.
what let me out.
I was gonna say that they ain't gonna let you go. They're gonna hold you all night if you give them the opportunity. Y'all already know. Look, y'all let Coach Ann get some rest. She got to be up early in the morning for y'all for this newbie course. Please make sure that you all join the newbie course. Oh, you got to do the bye.
Well, so also maybe next time I will show y'all how my DTG, my direct to garment print. So maybe I'll do that for a demonstration, even though I know a lot of people may not have it. Maybe a good thing to watch and just see how that process works.
Yeah, and just explaining the difference between the technologies and what the end uses are and everything. Like, yeah, I think that would be excellent. Yes. Good one. All right, you want to let these people go? Or I got to pick them out. So,
the work of Dr. Shanon, we love you. We appreciate you. Until next time. Bye.
Bye. Good night. Thank you all so much.
Oh, I did it. Hey, Siri, call Van Teresa.